Hey guys, today we're going to talk about three things. My boat, it's in the shop, some new urchins that I got, and the water in South Texas. What's up with this water? It's awesome. Let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is the water in South Texas lately. So if you live here, you may know, unless you don't follow this stuff all the time like I do, or you may not, right? In about the middle of July, some torrential rains in the hill country and in south central Texas dumped about 2 feet of water in a very short amount of time. The result is it overwhelmed all the local creeks and so forth, ran into the major river basins like the Nueces, like the Frio, and the Guadalupe. And the result is great news for bass fishermen. We're going to take a look at Canyon Lake. Canyon Lake is now sitting at 100% full when just, I'm going to say 1 month ago, water data for Texas says it was at 61% full. And as I remember it, only ramp 18 is open. Not all of the ramps are open now, although I've seen some reports of that, but personally I wouldn't trust that. There's a lot of debris that's coming in from the rivers and all of this water, and that's clogging up some of the ramps, makes it a little bit dangerous out on the water. So you really need to pay attention if you go out to what you're doing. So that is great news for Canyon Lake. For Medina Lake has come up to 28.8% full. And as anybody who lives down here knows, Medina's been empty for a long time. It was just a shell of its former self, but it's come up to nearly 30% full. So that's really great. And finally, Choke Canyon. Choke Canyon is at 22.8% full. I'm not a great follower of weather patterns and geology, but the water is just now getting down the Frio to Choke Canyon Lake. And because of that, the water is just now starting to fill the lake up. So it's so strange. Literally 1 week ago, it was 8% full, and now it's sitting at 22.8% full. I saw some video from a channel that Lance Vick runs recently that showed it still has quite a ways to get to the spillway on the dam. So that should mean that we get some water in the lake. Now, whether or not specifically Medina and Choke are fishable right away, how much debris is in the water, how many bass are even left, do they need stocking and a couple years of replenishment, restocking, and some good weather and not opening up the faucets, as an example with Choke Canyon down to Corpus Christi. Now, if people need the water, of course, I mean, that's more important than bass fishing, I suppose. Just kidding. But yeah, we do have those things to consider. However, the general good news is the water's coming up. Let's be happy about that. So the next thing I'd like to talk about today is the new urchins that I got. So the video I did last week, I filmed rigging this particular thing with a frog hook, as you can see there. I think that's going to work great. We're going to talk about in a second why I haven't been able to try it, because my boat's in the shop. But I also just yesterday got these new Yamamoto Unis. Thing I notice about them right away is the Prickly Pears. They are more rigid and sticking up more rigid, whereas the Yamamoto Unis, they kind of flopping over a little bit, which is fine, right? I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But the difference in size is these urchin baits are measured in millimeters, and these measure 19 millimeters, and these measured 13 millimeters. So there's 6 millimeters difference. And because I was curious, I went and got a tape measure that measures in inches, and the 19 measures out right about 3/4 of an inch, and the 13 measures right about a half inch. Gives me something easier that I'm more used to thinking about. So yeah, so we'll be rigging both of these. Hopefully this next week I get my boat back and we'll be able to go out to maybe Canyon Lake, I'm hoping, because I don't think the fishing at Canyon is going, it will be affected, some good, some bad, and there will be debris. So I'll do some digging around at what other folks are doing, if they've gone out, how things are looking. So I anticipate the fishing to be good in some respects because there'll be new brush, new cover, but also challenging in some respects that all this new water is going to, in my opinion, disorient the bass a little bit, and they won't immediately, come up and things like that. So I'll talk more about that when we do a video on that, but just thought I'd show you the new Yamamoto Unis that I got to try. So I also want to talk about my 2026 Skeeter 19SE that I got about 2 months ago now, I think. So I was up at LBJ about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks, fishing. And I noticed when I came in one day that the plastic sheathing that goes between the motor and the bilge compartment had started pulling loose, and the bracket that holds them on wasn't clipped anymore. So there's a little piece of metal that goes through there to hold it tight, and that wasn't there, and the clip was just sort of hanging there, and the sheathing was pulled loose. So I took it into the shop to get them to take a look at that. I mean, it's under warranty, right? So I took it in to get them to take a look at that. And while I was there, I also asked them to take a look at the porpoising. So I know Skeeters have a reputation for porpoising, and I'm not an expert at all here. But I do know I had a 2012 Skeeter I-Class, and it was a 20I, meaning it was about 20 feet long. And that one porpoised too. That one porpoised, especially after I put the shallow water talon anchors on the back, from about 22 to 32 miles an hour. So not horribly, but it did do it. This one, though, it really seems like it's porpoising from like 12 miles an hour all the way up to 33, 34 miles an hour. It just shouldn't do that. Yeah, it has some, Raptor shallow water anchors on the back, but no, the 2026 engineering of bass boats shouldn't require that. Now, what they're going to do is put some shims back there in the jack plate area. I don't know exactly how they do that, whether it's like tuck it under more, I think, but I'm not positive. But we'll see pretty soon, hopefully this week. So they're going to put some shims on it. Now, I was told that's going to make it go slower because of the position of the motor now. Me personally, I don't care as much about that. Yeah, it's great. 50, 60 miles an hour is way fine for me. I don't need to go 73 miles an hour to get to the bass that much quicker. I'm fine without that. But if we can get this thing to stop porpoising, or at least bring it down to like, 22, 25 to 30, or some much smaller window, that would be great. Okay, guys, it's been great chatting with you this week. Stay tuned, and hopefully I'll get my boat back this coming week.